You sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm. You gave my life to me, set me free, set me free. The finest years I ever knew were all the years I had with you. And I would give anything I own. I give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own just to have you back again. You taught me how to love. You never said too much, but still you showed the way. And watching you, nobody else could ever know the part of me that can't let go. And I would give anything I own. Give up my life, my heart, my own. I would give everything I own just to have you back again.
Hi, ladies.
Is
Before
there
we start,
someone you know
just
you're
listen to this song.
loving them so, but taking them all for granted?
You may lose them one day.
Someone takes them away, and they don't hear the words you know to say.
And please like, love,
I would give
and share this broadcast because this is going to be spectacular today, ladies.
my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own just to have you back again. Just to touch you once again.
Ladies, welcome to the Full Moon Therapy. I'm so excited to see you once again. And hopefully, even though the weather says it's going to be raining tonight, right? It's going to be 4 days in a row. It's going to be raining. So if in the middle of the class it starts to rain, I have to let go. Okay, I have to get out of here because I don't want my computer to be wet. I have to save my computer, ladies. So let's pray that it's not going to be raining during the class. And if you have questions, there is a question thread on my page. Find it, please, and put your questions there because it's very hard to read your questions during live class. And again, please like, laugh, comment, say hi to mommy, or forward this broadcast to your loved ones on your newsfeed or the groups, so everyone can gather around here because today is going to be one of the 4 super moons of the year. Tonight's full moon is going to be called, or it's called the worm moon. This the worm moon will be in Virgo. Ladies, I don't really believe or follow any astrology, but I'll read it anyway what it means because last month it was in Leo. Tonight's full moon will be in Virgo, and this makes it pretty powerful. So hopefully this class and the full moon in Virgo will help you experience a breakthrough, because it also says that you will experience unexpected impact in your love life. Wow, I hope so, right? So, and also this full moon conveys to you to pay close attention to your health. And you know what? Why that is? Coronavirus, hello, right? So, and this is also the first time I'm broadcasting live on YouTube. Ladies on YouTube, hello from Karina's Castle in San Diego. Ask questions, ladies on YouTube, all right? Or I don't know how YouTube live video works. If you can share it, forward it, also please do it for me. I will appreciate it very much, lovelies. Thank you so much. And before we start, I have to make a few announcements that we have had 7 engagements this year. So number 5 is Gosia. Number 6 is Juju. What a lovely name that is. I love that, Juju. And the 7th one is Kendall. Ladies, congratulations. And I hope you have the best marriage and the best relationship, of course. Marriage wouldn't save your relationship, ladies. I have to emphasize it once again, because a lot of you wonder, why do I need to be in a relationship? I just want to get married. Oh, hello. You know, no, you don't want to just get married. You want to make sure the person you marry is going to be the right person. So don't rush it, all right? So have a relationship. Focus on building your relationship first before worrying about a piece of paper. Trust me, trust me. You don't want to be married and be stuck in a wrong relationship with a wrong person, okay? So surrender, that's my favorite word. Surrender to the process, ladies. The process is dating, relationship or courtship. You cannot skip it, all right? I cannot emphasize it enough. And we are only less than 5 weeks away from Ireland retreat. Those of you who are still hesitating, where should I or should I not go? I seriously encourage you, ladies, please come meet us in Castle Leslie. So I will teach everything that I know, that I have learned and figured out about escaping the matrix. Ooh, that sounds very futuristic, isn't it? It's like, what does it mean to escape the matrix? And what is the matrix anyway, right? So I will go very deep in Castle Leslie on April 14 throughout the 18th. Currently, we have 10 ladies already signed up for the retreat. So I'm so excited. My future coaches will be there, at least some of them. And Coach Dacia will be there, of course. You know lovely Coach Dacia, right? You love Coach Dacia. Those of you who are in the fan subscriptions, you love Coach Dacia. I love her too. And she and her husband, Doug, her very handsome, alpha, masculine husband, will be there too. And rest assured, I will interview him because we haven't heard from Doug himself how he ended up overcome his cold feet because he was rebounding at that time. He had issues with his ex, the mother of his kids. So, and the mother of his kids didn't like Dacia. So she created a lot of issues in their relationship that he had to break it up. But following my teachings, my principles, the highest form of love jiu-jitsu, he could only maintain the breakup situation for only like a few weeks, maybe less than 2 weeks in fact, because Dacia just would move on and he blew up her phone. And then they got back together. And the rest is history, ladies. Now they're happily married. And their firstborn son is my godson, Chance. Chance is a lovely, most gorgeous baby I've known. Seriously. So to me, they are family right now. So Dacia has been, coming to my retreats a lot. Um, the one that she didn't go was just one retreat at home and then Bali retreat. But the rest of the retreats, she's always there because she benefits and she takes her family with her, which is so wonderful because I get to see my godson and see him grow up as well because they're family now, right? Ladies, so learn from Dacia's husband. This guy was rebounding and this guy had cold feet. So if you are in a rebound situation, ladies, you don't want to miss this retreat. You don't want to miss the session with Doug. Okay, and what else is new? Oh, the rate right now is 3,299 for twin sharing, but you'll get a bunch of bonuses from me just to help you make a decision, including like an hour coaching with me. Or if you want to forego all the bonuses amounting to up to $1,000, you can also get Module 1 Journey Inward for free as a bonus. All right. So just PM me after the class so we can talk about it. And I promise you, ladies, you will come home a new person with a new brain. And this class today, I want to talk about the Matrix a little bit, right? Have you watched the Matrix? Do you like the movie? You know, the one with Keanu Reeves, the one with blue pill and red pill, right? I watched it like after my first awakening in 2014. You know, I was just like uh, wondering what the Matrix was all about, right? So I watch it. Do I like it? I think it's okay. I'm not crazy about it, and it is pretty. In a way, it's pretty mystical, right? It's pretty like esoteric. So a lot of symbolism in there. So you think the Matrix is something that is so like weird stuff. I'm telling you, ladies, what is called the Matrix is really not separate from you. Most of us, the vast majority of us, that to say like 99.99% of world population lives in the Matrix, meaning they are largely unconscious because they still live in the structure of thinking. So thinking makes uh, their template. So it's not something that is so like it's like science fiction. It's not something so otherworldly. It is in fact something that is, you know, very close to you, but you're not aware of it, right? Because when you are in the Matrix, of course, you don't know that you are in the Matrix. And what is the Matrix actually? The Matrix is the realm of thinking, right? If you still live in the narration of the mind and you are not aware that your entire existence is being narrated in your mind, ladies, that means you are unconscious and you are in the Matrix, right? That is why also your life is filled with problems, strife, anguish, discords, conflicts, constant drama. In a nutshell, just nightmares after nightmares. That is the direct result of being unconscious. So you always get hurt and you end up being so unhappy with your life, so anxious, so depressed, and you looking for salvation out of yourself in the form of love, relationship, sex, romance, and a bunch of EUMs, correct? That is because you're trying to fill a void inside of you, a gaping, wet hole inside of you. That is how people fall in love, right? People fall in love because they find a match in somebody who is filling them their void. And because, oh, I feel so complete right now. This person makes me feel so good. He saves me from myself. He saves me from my pain. So I'm falling in love with him. But that kind of love, ladies, doesn't last, does it? That kind of love usually is the beginning of deep heartache. Is that true? Why is that? Because it's an illusion. You are using someone else, a mere mortal, to fill up your void that you yourself can fill. Okay, this is why people who are whole, they don't have any uh, predisposition to fall in love the way most people fall in love anymore. We're no longer falling in love. We are rise we rise in love instead of fall. We rise in love. And I want you to teach you, ladies, to plan that one day can turn into a nightmare. But if you rise in love, you are love yourself. Because you are love yourself, you are whole and complete. And you don't need anyone to complete you or to fill up your void or the hole inside of you. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? So stick with me. And hopefully, this full moon, ladies, will bring you into that breakthrough out of the matrix completely. Hopefully, because the full moon is very powerful, right? And it's so powerful it affects your mental health as well. As well, this is why a lot of people get so crazy during full moons as well, right? A lot of meltdowns happening around the full moon, and hopefully we're not gonna have a meltdown in our groups because last month we definitely did. The full moon last night caused in a like complete meltdown. I came home to like a burning house, more or less. Some some people are just getting into conflicts. Some drama ensued, and people got hurt, got blocked, and so forth and so on. So hopefully, this full moon is not gonna happen that way. Okay, ladies. Now, I would like to answer the first question from Mimi. All right, this is from Mimi. Hi, Kat. I just rejoined as a supporter because I always love your videos and I'm excited. I have so many to catch up on. I have posted in one of your group recently, and you had helped me before when I was at the 8-month mark with my guy. I have been with a wonderful man for about 13 months. He calls me his girlfriend, spends all his weekend with me. I ask him for more time during the week. He works a lot and loves his man cave. And he has started being sure that we have one weeknight together too. I have 50-50 custody of my kids, so this actually works well when he makes one weeknight for us. He took me to France to meet his parents last winter. He treats me like a queen and takes me out all the time and plans dates. I brought up the talk very briefly. I know. And without drama about a month ago, I said I love where things were and I wanted him to know I would like a live in partner at some point. I am still finishing my divorce, though I have been separated for 4 years, and my husband has a live in girlfriend. My guy, he said he wanted to take things one day at a time. I said, I really imagine living with my partner. I held space for his fears around this. He is worried he will not have good boundaries. He will live he lived with his wife for 23 years. And then after that, he had a live-in girlfriend for 7 years. He worries he will not get his work done and have enough downtime if he lives with someone. These are his fears, and I must respect them. I try to cultivate my own aloneness as I know it is healthy, and he has taught me this in a way. I can't convince him. We have such a good time together, but he is comfortable with how things are. I have decided to date other men casually. I wonder if this is okay. I am not sleeping with other men, but I don't know if he will ever step up. I don't really want to let him go, as I think we are compatible in many ways. And I want to give him time to feel comfortable with the idea of having me as a living partner. But meanwhile, interviewing other men for the job. What do you think? Wow, Mimi, thank you. And welcome back to the fan subscriptions, lovely. And ladies who are not in the fan subscriptions and you love my classes, you will be encouraged to sign up for my fan subscriptions. Currently, we have 51 classes. Oh my goodness, 51 classes, amounting to over 76 hours of streamline. So you can listen to me nonstop. 76 hours, that would be probably like 3 days in a row, nonstop. And you can only imagine what is the outcome of listening to me nonstop. It will ground you big time. So you are no longer be in the mercy of the mercy of at the mercy of your own like anxiety and depressing thoughts, right? Instead of wondering why he doesn't call me, he hasn't texted me back, you're just gonna listen to me nonstop. So it will stop you from reaching out, stop you from lashing out, you know, and getting impulsive with your EUM. Okay, Mimi. So thank you for coming back into the fan subscriptions. And mind you, ladies, the classes will increase by 5 or 6 every month. So right now, 51 classes. By the end of the month, it will be probably 56 classes. And on top of that, just for the month of March and April, I add 5-hour footages, but 5-hour classes or sessions from my previous retreats in this house, my home retreat. So you want to listen also the 5-hour sessions from previous retreats to make it over 81 hours of streamlining. 81 hours. And how much do you have to pay for these 81 hours? Only $99 and no down payment, $2,000 and pay $500 that some vanity coaches charge you. And you don't even know who they are, right? Because they lie through their teeth about their achievements. So only $99 clean, no contract, no nothing. You can listen to me nonstop 3 days in a row or 4 days in a row. Now, to answer Mimi, you are with this man 8 months, right? You've known him for 13 months. So let's put this in perspective. 8 months in the grand scheme of things is really early. It's really nothing. A lot of you have this belief that, if a man doesn't claim me after 3 months, then there is no chance that he's going to ever do that. Wrong. I'm telling you, it's completely bullshit. Don't listen to anyone who tells you that, okay? You cannot compare your relationship or your situationship with other people's relationship. Every relationship is different. Everyone's is in their own journey, and every man's journey is different. So if you compare yourself, oh look, my best friend, they got married after 3 months, after 4 months. But what kind of marriage is it going to be, right? So you want to know, do you know someone after 4 months? Likelihood is no. No, you don't know anyone probably closely until probably 2 years at least in a relationship with him. So take things slowly, okay? You're not even divorced yet, Mimi. And you said you've been separated for 4 years. How long was the marriage? Okay. Did you have a relationship before this month? If your divorce is not finalized yet, or maybe you didn't even file, you haven't even filed, that can only mean that you still have so much baggage from your marriage. You think you're ready, but truth be told, you are still having a hard time cutting the ties to your ex-husband or to your marriage, which is fine, right? So, which means, the likelihood is, because you are rebounding, even though you say 4 years separation, doesn't matter. If the marriage was a long time and you never have been in a relationship after your split, um, then the likelihood is you are still carrying baggage from your previous marriage, meaning you are still rebounding. So take things slow, all right? Allow yourself just to slowly dip into the hot water. As you allow yourself, you're also allowing him to do the same, okay? So don't worry that, oh, if he doesn't claim me, if we're not exclusive, meaning that, he still can fall in love with another woman. Of course, he still can, and you can too. But don't lead with fears, all right? What you need to know is whether or not this man is actively investing in you and investing in the relationship. Only by investing in the relationship he can fall in love or rise in love, whichever you know his personal journey in right now, right? So if he is very right now standoffish, he's kind of shy, he's not sure, then you know deep down in your heart he's not ready, and allow him not to be ready. It doesn't mean he won't be ready. It just shows that he is not there yet emotionally, that it's going to happen if you stop erecting barriers. Okay, what are the barriers? The barriers is fears, right? The barriers is the matrix, your pattern of toxic thinking. That is the number one barrier why men don't claim you as fast as they want to, if they want to, because they can't feel safe enough, being with you, because you already saw ahead in the journey. He fears that you're going to put so much pressure on him, trying to make him do things, because a lot of you, the minute a guy says, I like you, I love you, falling in love with you, I want to marry you one day, and all of a sudden you're already acting like a wife the next day. And no wonder, after such pronouncement, usually guys pulls back big time, right? Some of you are experiencing as well, like, um, your EUM all of a sudden say you want a relationship. He wants a relationship with you, but then he disappears for 2 weeks or 5 days, not responding to your text. And I'm telling you, that is very common. That is not something that have to discourage you. A man just have to keep sort of rubber banding until they are sure you are safe, meaning that you're not gonna act like a psycho with him. So let him process, let him take his time while you are, of course, hedging your bet. How do you hedge your bet, ladies? Ladies, how? By maintaining a rotation. That's how you hedge your bet, as always, right? So what you're doing is great. Yes, you need still to talk to other guys. When a man sort of wishy-washy, and then it doesn't really like keep in touch in between your get together, right? If he sees you every weekend, but during the week you barely hear from him, that means he is pacing you. Okay, it's not a bad thing, ladies. A man will pace you, period, unless he is already ahead of you, right? But most men, generally speaking, they are behind when it comes to that, how fast they uh, get emotional, get emotionally connected or attached to you. Okay, so, and it's not bad, it's not wrong, it's just the way things are. So instead of making him wrong, instead of getting so butthurt that he's not as fast as you make yourself busy. If you have another guy or two that get that take turn to sort of like shower you with your attention, whatever he does wouldn't affect you so much, because you're already taking care of yourself. You're already keeping your emotional tank full. All right. So that's what you need to do, Mimi. All right, thank you for asking the question. So let me see the next one. Hello, Kat. This is from Sarah. How do I apply what you resist persist to my frustration about my sex life? Woohoo! I'm unable to do one night stands or sleep with someone if I don't feel emotionally connected. And it seems the more I crave a relationship with hot, passionate sex, uh, uh, I seem to, the less it seems to happen. Is that what you're saying? So the more I crave a relationship with hot, passionate sex life, less sex I seem to get altogether. So the more you want sex, actually the less sex you get. That's what you're saying. And I resent the fact that's how things are and always seem to have been. And I feel frustrated. I've always craved hot sex and chemistry, and I'm in my 40 something years, and I've only had 4 sex partners, 3 in a long-term relationships. All of them not that much sexually driven. How do I stop resisting the fact that things are not the way I wish or need them to be? Thank you in advance for your wisdom. Sarah, most people are neurotic when it comes to sex. What does it mean? What I mean is, most people want sex, love sex, but they also at the same time feel they shouldn't. They feel guilty and shamed by sex. The fact that I want to have sex is so shameful. Ladies, it's beginning to feel like it's gonna rain soon. Woohoo! Anyway, let me finish this train of thought, right? So a lot of you who are like so conflicted about sex, right? You live in your neurosis zone, and it doesn't have to be that way, ladies. Sex is really just a natural part of being human. It's a huge part of your humanity, you know. We are here thanks to sex. If our parents didn't have sex, we wouldn't be here. So nothing wrong with sex or about sex. So sex is so compelling, so powerful. You know, some certain segments of society want to control, you know, especially female sexuality, as well as male sexuality, by making it, you know, sacred, so, uh, you know, like hot commodities that can only be accessed in a long-term marriage, or in the old days can only be done in marriage, right? So, and this brainwash has obviously, you know, taken its victim in you, Sarah. And you telling me, oh, I'm the sort of person that, you know, I cannot have sex unless there is emotional connection. Really? Are you sure about that? Or it is just your ego is telling you, because I'm virtuous, I can only have sex if there is emotional connection. Is that true? I want you to be very attuned of that narration in your head, that narrative that, oh, you know, I can only have sex if I'm emotionally connected to someone. And yet, in your life, in your previous relationship and marriages, the sex was almost non-existent. It didn't satisfy you at all, right? And so what happens with the emotional connection? I thought you said, you know, you can only have sex with emotional connection. So obviously, even in a long-term relationship with this man, right, or your husband, there was um, apparently like emotional connection. Of course, that's why you were together, right? Still, though, it wasn't a guarantee that you're going to have a great sex life, right? Sex uh, didn't measure up. So what does it tell you? So stop believing in the ego's narrative. Oh, you know, I'm virtuous. I cannot have sex unless I feel emotionally connected to you. That's a lie you're telling yourself. I'm not telling you you should start going out and then screwing every guy inside. It's not what I mean. What I'm saying is have a healthy approach about sex. It's not a big deal. Don't have sex if you don't want to. But if you want to have it merrily with your full attention, with your full focus, with full with mindfulness. That's what you need to do. Have sex with mindfulness. Enjoy every second of it. Okay? That is what a healthy person does. Neurotic people, on the other hand, because they feel guilty and they feel shame. Oh my God, I have a one night stand. I just met this guy and the chemistry was so strong. But I feel so guilty that I just jump into bed with him after only an hour or 2 hours talking or whatever, right? And you tell him, I don't usually do this, and of course he's gonna laugh at your face, right? So what I'm saying, if you want to have sex, do have sex. There's nothing wrong about having sex, okay? And all the feeling that you're being judged is actually what? Self-judgment. Nobody needs to know unless you announce to the whole complex or the whole neighborhood, the entire block, that you just had sex with some guy you just met 5 minutes ago. Nobody will know, correct? And the only person who will judge is yourself. So be aware of that. Be attuned to your own mental chatters. What do mental chatters mainly consist of? Self-judgment, mainly self-judgment. This is why you always live in conflicts. This is why you bring so much discord into the world around you, because you're so full of discord inside of you. Do you realize that? Okay. So let go of the self-judgment. So you just had sex and it was great. You were so in the moment. You embracing it. It was one of the best sex you've ever had, or just the best sex you ever had. Celebrate it. Celebrate it totally. Okay, this is what healthy people do. They're not fighting themselves 24/7. But the funny thing is, in our society, unless you feel guilty, unless you are questioning yourself 24/7, unless you argue with yourself 24/7, right? Something wrong with you. That's what society is telling us. You're not supposed to be happy. You're not supposed to have an easy life. So you're supposed to feel guilty and beat yourself up. That's what society is telling you. And you swallow it hook, line, and sinker. Don't do that to yourself, ladies. Okay? So, back to your question, Sarah. I don't believe your assertion at all. I think it's just the ego's way of self-deception. And you know what? The ego is always going to weave a web of self-deception. One of them is this. Unless you try it, you do it, you will not know whether or not you can enjoy sex casually. And of course, you're not gonna hear this advice from anyone else. Anyone else in a business, especially, will be so politically correct. They're so like anti-sex. Yeah, they're not healthy themselves. A lot of neurotic people sort of giving you neurotic advice on dating and relationships, and they charge you $5,000, whatever, crazy amount they can think of. All right. So, and what is the result of that kind of neurotic advice? They make you sort of sink deeper and deeper in this black hole of ignorance and self-hate and self-judgment that doesn't help you out of your anxiety and depression and mental predicaments, right? So this is why you come to me. I never make you feel guilty. Want to have sex? Go have sex. Enjoy it. Then move on. And maybe you have sex again tomorrow or the next month. But don't get attached. All right? So if you just jump into life without any this sort of chronic guilt and self-judgment, You will show up as a goddess whose energy is going to mesmerize every guy who finds you attractive. Every guy is done in the face of a cat's goddess. Done, over with, done. You know why? Because she is emotionally free. She could care less one way or another. And she knows how to take care of herself without an apology. Okay? She doesn't demand, she doesn't expect, but she also releases herself from all expectations, from societal dictate. Okay, that's what I do with myself. I release myself from your expectations, people's expectation that I have to be this way or that way. No, I don't have to be anything. I just am. I just be moment to moment. If in the moment I want to be singing, I'll be singing. If in the moment I want to smile, I'll be smiling. If in the moment I want to uh, tell you you are out of line and you need to get out of my group, I will tell you just as much as well. And there is no guilt with me, okay? Because I trust my own judgment. I trust myself, and my loyalty always um, is to me and myself first. And I'll be loyal to you too. But loyalty is earned, ladies. Loyalty is a two-way street, right? You cannot expect me to be loyal to you when you're not loyal to me. For example, if you backstab me, talk behind my back, likelihood is I don't care if I, you know, for example, kick you out of the group. So I just want you to know that is the healthy approach to life. Okay, jump into life without any a priori conception or prejudice at all. Okay, all this conditioning that you've received all your life, religious, cultural, societal, right? Uh, and uh, your upbringing by your parents or caretakers, right? That makes your matrix. That is the matrix I'm talking about. Now, can you, after studying with me a while, just let go of all those prejudices? Let go of all that conditioning. Okay? So let go of the colored glasses and just connect to your feelings, connect to your intuitions, connect to your heart. Get out of the head, get down into your heart. Can you do that? Okay? So, because in the heart, there is no judgment. In the heart, you just feel surrendered. You feel relaxed, right? You just do whatever you feel like in the moment. And because the mind is conniving, the heart is not. Only the mind is conniving, right? The mind is always going to create problems, scheme. The mind is the schemer. The heart is not. So because you will always rest in your heart centers, there is no scheming inside of you. There is no conniving. That is the very definition of being free of mental defilements is all about. All your mental defilements come from where? From the head, from thinking, from the matrix, from the mind. And the cure is in the heart. Okay, because there is no I in the heart, there is no ego in the heart. The ego only shows up in thinking, in your thoughts. When you are thinking, meaning the ego is operational, is full on 24/7. Okay, this is why people who no longer dwell on the mind level, they don't create problems in the world. They have no desire for that. They don't scheme. They don't connive. They're not malicious. They, they don't want to inflict harms on other people. Why? Because there is no anger. And where does anger come from, ladies? Anger comes from the mind. Again, the mind is the source of all mental defilements. Anger. everything else. All right. Well, ladies, it's 34%. And I haven't seen the moon. Hopefully, we'll be able to see the moon before my battery goes down to 0%. Oh my goodness. All right. So let me see other questions. Does that make sense, ladies? Anger. Let's talk more about anger. Anger is why, right? We have so many problems, so many wars, so much suffering in the world, right? And the direct result of anger is this thinking. Thinking always ends up in anger, jealousy, envy, and all its derivatives, emotion, right? So when you get out of your head, you will notice a sort of spaciousness around yourself. You feel very relaxed. You feel just very calm, very content, very peaceful, right? So you won't find anger when you lay in, you dwell in your heart center. There is no anger in there. And because there is no anger, there is no mind involved. Okay. And what does the mind do to mitigate or to solve anger? The mind will start uh, scheming something, a strategy, for example, or let's say uh, a vindictive move, a vengeance, because you're angry, right? And the mind will want to be even, right? That's why then it starts strategizing how to get back to this person, to that person, to my EUM, my ex. So then you bring conflicts into the world around you, correct? And it starts from the conflict within yourself. This is why the outer world, ladies, is only just a reflection of your inner world. If your inner world is completely chaotic, stressful, filled with discord, you should not sooner or later will bring that discord into the world around you. You will start projecting your unresolved issues and your anger on people around you, on me, right? On the ladies in the group, on your EUM, your parents, your friends, your boss, everyone. Okay? So, and in my business, especially, I'm very vulnerable to be around women like this. Let's face it, angry, wounded women who want to get even one way or another. And misery seeks company, ladies. Right? This is why when you're miserable, you just want to lash out. You want to take people with you. You want to drag people down to your level of misery. Right? So you become an unbearable person to be around because you're miserable and you want everyone to join you. Let's be miserable with me. Please accompany me in my misery, right? So, you cannot get out of your predicament, of your suffering, so long you are still on the mind level. So, how to get out of the matrix? How to get out of the mind level? You have to do what it takes. What it takes is for you to be watchful, to be mindful, to look inside, to journey within. This is why my inner work program is called Journey Inward. It is an invitation for you just to see the source of all your suffering. It's not out there. It's not your EUM. It's not your ex. It's not your parents. It's not your boss. It's not your kids. The source of your suffering is your ignorance of not understanding how you create your own bondage, how you create your own suffering, how you are imprisoned by the matrix of your conditioning. So, whatever it is that you believe in, related to sex or not related to sex, now you've found me, let all that go. Always jump into life and seeing for yourself if something is right through experience. You know, holding a burning coal burns, right? How do you know? Because your hand burns. That's how you know this doesn't work. Just because someone tells you, oh no, you're not gonna get burned if you do it this way or that way. And you just believe in it without any like critical reasoning or without any suspicion whatsoever that what that person says might not be right, right? Of course not. You're going to see it for yourself if something is right or not for you by doing it, by jumping into it. You cannot just trust what generations before us telling us that, oh, sex is wrong, sex is bad. You're a hoe, you're a skank if you have sex. Okay? So start letting go little by little all those conditionings. Okay? Approach life with the freshness and innocence of a 5-year-old. By being fresh and innocent doesn't mean you're going to be stupid. It's not that. If somebody tells you to jump off the cliff, of course you know you're gonna die. Doesn't mean that you don't know all these basic things. I'm just saying, for stuff like, having sex is wrong. Oh my God. And you believe in it. Instead of just, let me see it for myself. Let's experiment with my sexuality. And what's so wrong about experimenting with sex and your sexuality? It's your body, right? And as I said, nobody's judging you but yourself. And true, the society or religion or culture probably judging you and telling you, since you are in the crib, that sex has to be in the confine of a marriage, for example. But you don't have to believe in it. Okay, ladies? You don't. Oh my God, it's already in the red 20% now. Where is that moon? Oh my goodness. All right, let me see if there is another question coming here. This is from Ivanka. Hi, Ivanka. Hi, Kat. Can you talk about dating a man who is separated but not divorced yet? What do you want to know? Just as a guideline, ladies. Oh, 11%. I don't think we will see the moon today. So I'm just gonna finish it with Ivana or Ivanka's question: how to date a separated man who is not divorced yet? You need to know why is he not divorced. A lot of times, a lot of couples, me included, right? They didn't get divorced right away because they're not sure yet. They're not there yet. They want to still just measure, have a chance to change their mind. So a lot of time that is the main reason why men are not divorced yet. And a lot of time it's also because divorce costs a lot of money, right? And then not to mention a lot of couples will lose their benefits because